I know growing up, you would always tell me you wanted the fish to be mine.
Mhm.
And where did that learning come from?
When I grew up, the adults would you can have your poles out, your pole. As soon as a big hit, you get a big strike, whoever the adult that was with you would automatically run down and grab that pole. And they would bring it in all the way to the shore, and then they would give the pole to you and say, okay, here. Then they would go down and land it. And they say, oh, good job, you caught a nice fish. But the feeling inside was, I didn't catch it, you did, you know? And that feeling I didn't like. So when I had you, even from a young age, whether you could hold a pole or not, you remember the time I made you crank that OEO in and it was like,
The pole was lying on the reef because I was on my knees.
yeah. But I wouldn't help you because I wanted you to bring the fish in by yourself so that when you catch that fish, you can say, that's my fish. I caught it. And you didn't have help. And that's a good feeling. Okay. So, a lot of people think, oh, I'm just lazy and I don't want to help you. But no, I don't want to take something away from you that, to me, you deserve it. You worked hard. You got all the way to the point where you got the strike. And to take that away from you is that, I don't know. That feeling just doesn't sit right with me. So, just so you understand, that's why I didn't jump in and help you because I wanted you to get 100% credit for catching whatever it was. And I've seen you lose some big ulua. I've seen you lose some big oyo. But who cares? Okay? Those were all learning opportunities where you learned why you lost it. You learned what you could have done different, in the next one. So when it was time for you to catch one, you figured it out. And it was easier for you. So all the hard times that you went through made it easy now. So, I'm sorry if it made you feel like, oh, he doesn't want to help me. But the reason was so that you had the opportunity to learn from experience. And I also wanted you to get the 100% credit for catching whatever it was. And you lost it, okay. So what? Don't cry about it. And that's why I taught you, if it's your fish, it'll come up. If it's not, it's not. And that's just how it goes. Not every fisherman catches every fish.
You wouldn't be a fisherman if you caught everything.
Yeah. You'll be a catcherman. No, there's no such thing. Okay, even the best fishermen lose fish. So now how do you handle that? You cannot let that break you. You cannot let that stop you from doing what you love. So you get over it and you learn from your mistakes and you try again and don't do it again, And I think that's just what it is.
Looking back on it, I really believe that it's the fact that I had the opportunity to fight so many fish that I learned so quickly on how to properly fight the fish because
Was there ever one single time that I yelled at you for losing a fish?
no.
Okay? Because it didn't matter.
Mhm.
That wasn't your fish. So he got away. So why did he get away? Just figure it out.
Mhm.
And look at what it did for you. Now you know how to fight the fish.
Mhm.
Yeah. You don't get all tired out trying to pump that thing
Yeah.
in. You know?
Mhm.
If you didn't go through all of that, I don't know. you would be still struggling.
Mhm.
And it's not enjoyable when you struggle. So yeah, it's just you need to go through all those
Mhm.
things. It doesn't seem like great things at the time, but
Mhm.
I think it shows later on that that's what you need.
Why is it important, you think, to share and teach?
Why was it important for me to teach you?
For me, I looked at it as it was carrying on tradition,
Mhm.
but
That's how I learned.
mhm.
You know, the older ones taught me, and now I teach you. Now you teach the next generation, and just pass it on.
Hopefully that way fishing is.
Yeah, just teach them to respect what's there.
Mhm.
Everybody goes through stages. The first you want to catch anything. You just want to catch something. And then you get to this time when okay, you catch one or two, but you
Mhm.
want to catch more. You want to catch 20
Mhm.
or 30. And it's okay, you go through that stage. But somewhere along the line you have to learn that it's not okay to take that many.
Mhm.
You don't need that many. So now you start getting it to the point where you just want to catch one good sized one to eat. And, then, okay, maybe I'll catch two because I'm going to give one away.
Mhm.
And that's okay too.
Mhm.
But, you know, the thinking, your mentality changes because from taking everything you can to just taking what you need.
Mhm.
When you get there, it's a good thing. And it's not only a good thing for you, it's a good thing for fishing.
Yeah.
So don't get mad when you see people doing it because they're not there yet.
Mhm.
But teach them. Yeah? Teach them that there's a better way.
Mhm.
Because in the future, there's not going to be as many fish. I've seen it in my lifetime. You've seen it in
Mhm.
yours. And if we continue doing the things that we do,
Mhm.
we won't have anything to catch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna be tilapia fishermen.
No shortage of those. No shortage.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just stages. You went through it too,
Mhm.
I remember taking you to catch the avail, and you could have caught 1,000. But when you hit 30, I said, that's
Mhm.
enough. Took you what, 5 minutes?
Maybe.
And I said, that's enough.
Yeah.
You could stay there and you fill up your ice chest,
Mhm.
but there's no point to it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. We don't have to do it.
Mhm.
So no matter how sad you were, we stopped and we left. And I think that's a lesson that everybody has to
Mhm.
learn somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just little things that makes a difference later on.
I've been thinking like releasing the bigger fish
Mhm.
makes a difference because those are the, big breeding.
Yeah.
But I know you were saying in your lifetime you've seen like the drastic decline, right? You told me before they'd fill up coolers with eel and whatever. How big were they in comparison? Like I don't think they were all 10-pound eel.
No, but there was a lot of 6, 7, 8 pounders. A lot. And it would one fishing club would fill up several 150-quart coolers with oil. There were so many fish.
Mhm.
But was it the right thing? At that time, yeah, it was
Mhm.
okay. But, you know, look at it now.
Mhm.
Look at our fish population now. Maybe it wasn't so good. But we didn't realize that at the time.
Mhm.
But we do now.
Yeah.
So we have to do something. And if we can get everybody thinking along the same lines, it's really going to help the fish population. And people will enjoy the sport for a lot longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So simple, just catch and release every once in a while, or
Yeah.
just don't.
But like I said, don't get mad at the ones that don't, because they're not there yet.
Mhm.
Just teach them.
Mhm.
No sense get mad. There's no reason for that.
Mhm.
But, you got to teach them. Because you had to learn.
Yeah.
Right? You went through it. And now it's your turn to teach somebody else. So you teach one, and so they teach another one, and you just pass it down. And you're going to affect thousands of people that way instead of, just one or two. So just what you learn, just pass it on.
What I feel is a lot of
That's
people
simple.
don't want to teach because they want to, keep the secret for themselves.
Okay, well, that's also part of the growth. In the beginning, you don't want to teach anybody because you want to catch the fish. And when you catch enough, then you want to see somebody else catch a fish. So that's when you start teaching. But it's not easy because you got to get over that hump. You got to get to the point where, hey, I caught enough. I want to see them catch now. And once you get there, it's easy to teach. So, but don't judge the ones that don't. It's just that they're not there yet.
The other thing that I know was super important was safety.
Mhm.
And remember the time I got hooked in the neck?
Yeah.
That was a bad Christmas morning. But what were you thinking? Because I know when I yelled, you knew something was wrong.
Yeah. Oh, when I saw where the hook was, I knew it was bad.
Yeah.
And I knew enough to not panic and try to pull it out. So I said, okay, gotta stay calm. And packed up everything, and I drove you straight to the hospital. No, you just cannot panic. No matter how bad it is. Even if it was tragic and your arm, was half hanging off, you still cannot panic. Because it's not going to make it any better. So you do what you have to do and you get help. But that's why I told you, I don't trust anybody going with you. Because not everybody can do that. Most people are going to panic. And once you lose your head, you don't know what you're doing already. And then things go bad. Remember the rule that I told you? When we go out?
I got to be less than 1 second away.
Yeah, why?
Because stupid things happen and you just you don't know.
Yeah, accidents happen in the split second. And if I'm not right there, I don't know. Remember the ilikai?
My mystery slide into the water?
If I wasn't right there next to you, I wouldn't even know where you went. There was no splash. There was no yell. You just disappeared.
I slid right into down the boat ramp.
Yeah. When I look down, I see your big eyes going deeper and deeper, and I go, "Oh my God!" So I jumped in
Mhm.
and I got you out.
Mhm.
So did I yell at you? No. Accidents happen.
Mhm.
Okay, but you were smart enough to be close to me, so
Mhm.
we were able to do something about it. I tell you, if I was 10 feet away, you would be dead. That's how important it is.
Mhm.
So I believe in that.
Mhm. I feel like out of everything, it's the drive home from the beach where I've learned the most. Like just the talking through what went well, what I could have done better.
Yeah,
I feel like that is really what helped me to get better at fishing. And is that something that
it's
you
important.
learned, or how did you?
No, well, it's something that I figured out somewhere along the way. I don't know how, but I scolded you a lot when you were young.
Mhm.
But just scolding you meant nothing. Okay, that would have just made you feel like I'm just mean and I just like to yell.
Mhm.
Okay, but I needed to make you understand why I did or said what I said, and that's why I would take you on the side and we would talk about it until you understood. And I'm talking about times when you were like 2, 3.
Mhm.
I didn't just let it go. I took you on the side and I tried to explain why I'm mad.
Mhm.
Not screaming, not yelling, just trying to explain to you so you understand in your terms why I'm upset.
Mhm.
And because we did that, I didn't have to keep saying it because
Understanding.
we talked about it to the point where you understood.
Mhm.
And I believe that that's why it didn't reoccur. It stopped because
Mhm.
you knew, okay, I'm not supposed to do this because it's not good. It's
Mhm.
not polite. It's not
Mhm.
safe. Whatever the reason, but without taking the time to explain,
Mhm.
the scolding would have been useless. Okay, so I don't know where I learned this, but somewhere I heard, okay, it's okay to scold and discipline your kids. It's okay, but you need to let them know 10 times more that you love them. It's not only negative.
Mhm.
If you're gonna give 1 ounce of negative, you need to give 10 pounds of love.
Mhm.
And it wasn't easy because I grew up in a home with all boys, all brothers, all cavemen who would fight to see who would go in the door first
Mhm.
or whatever, who would have the last piece of candy. Yeah, it was a battle for
Mhm.
that. So it wasn't something that I learned, but somewhere along the line I heard and it made sense to me. And that's why I did that with you.
Mhm.
So I hope, now you understand and it's okay. I know it didn't feel good at the time, but I hope you understand.
It made a lot of sense, I think, as I got older, because I was able to understand why,
Yeah,
why we did things.
that's that's the important part. Not the scolding. The scolding is just to get you to stop. But the explanation after That's the important part. That's why I took so much time trying to explain things to you. Even when we're fishing, we talk about some weird stuff, but that's half the fun. I just wanted to be an example and show you that no matter how bad it is, you don't panic.
Mhm.
You just do what you have to do and get through it. And you did really good. So, yeah, those are some of the things that it's just you learn along the way. I had no idea how to raise a girl, but you figured it out. I hope I didn't scar you too much.
Just a little.
Uh, that's how it goes. You got to take the good with the bad. I'm kind of loaded down with bad, so you, you get your share of that too. I think I had enough talking to you for one day.
Well, I guess thank you.
When do I get my check?
I hope you all enjoyed this week's episode with me talking sorry with my dad. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments for me. And happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there.